I mean, to come out, biggest home game you've had in a very long time, and to put out that kind of dookie on television is mind blowing. That a Joe Judge team at this point in the season, who has seemingly gotten over a lot of the um, bugaboos that were tripping them up and not collapsing and not caving in and not giving in and coming out on the right side of the scoreboard to show up and put out that kind of effort is just like, what the fuck? Which leads me to believe. I mean, you can only imagine what would have happened if Jones was healthy, right? It would have been a lot closer game. I get it. But still, Jason Garrett, what are you doing? What are you doing? What the fuck? Throw the ball deep. The one drive where we threw it deep to Golden Tate, touchdown. Throw the ball deep. Jones has shown that he can throw the ball deep. He has one of the better quarterback ratings when throwing deep. Throw the ball over 15 or 20 yards. Almost every play. Just do it. Just shits and gigs. Do it. I don't know how Jason Garrett has a job. I didn't mind him being OC. I said fuck no to him being head coach. And I think that since Colombo's gone, why even hesitate in making a change? Why hesitate? The Ravens fired the OC in December of 2012, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. So it's been done before. Just fire Jason Garrett. Have someone else step in. Someone said Skopinski, who I think is the QB coach, or who's the other dude? I don't know. You can't have Jason Garrett continue to call plays. You know, this win streak has masked a lot of flaws, as Bobby Skinner has said from Talking Giants. It's just masked a lot of flaws. The offense did not play that well against the Seahawks. We had a tenacious defense that came up with sack after sack after sack, held the Seahawks in check, forced turnovers, gave the offense the ball in good and in scoring position. And Garrett had maybe I'd say like 2 good play calls against the Bengals. I don't know that we did a whole lot. And I forget who said this, but it's like the offense, maybe it was just me. I don't know if it's just like I just forgot what I've said, but like the Giants have had offensively, they put drives together but can't score points. It's a lot of field goals. And that's I think that's a lot of that is on the offensive coordinator. Like how the hell did Daniel Jones go from, someone put it up a stat today that showed like, maybe it was Pro Football Reference, showed you most passing touchdowns in first 12 games, 12 starts, first 12 games started or something like that. And Mayfield was first, I think. And then Justin Herbert's like 5th and Daniel Jones is 4th. Has like 20. I mean, how do you go from like 20 plus touchdowns in 12 games to you have like 8 touchdowns now? So as much as we hated Pat Shurmur and all them, he figured he had something going that he was able to get Jones, as much as we question his play calling a lot of time, he wasn't as bad as this. I mean, this is bad. You pretty much had the same group of players on offense with many considered to be an upgraded offensive line. We've been heralding the offensive line and their ability to run block and how they're getting better in pass protection. I mean, this was a huge step back for the offensive line, but what was Garrett's game plan going into this? If you knew that Daniel Jones is not 100%, that he's not going to be able to do what he's done in the past in terms of evading the rush and running, what are you thinking, dude? You know that he can't run. RPO is probably not going to be as effective. Play action might be effective, but was the game plan to force the ball to Darius Slayton? And I think that falls on Jones, really. He was just not comfortable. And I said that going into the Seahawks game. When I gave that preview, I was like, if Jones does not feel totally comfortable with that hamstring playing to what he knows, to the level that he can play, he shouldn't play because he doesn't know how to play and win with that kind of injury yet. He's a young guy, but maybe this will help him in the future. I mean, you look at someone like Favre or Roethlisberger. I don't know, Steve DeBerg comes to mind for some reason because these guys have played with serious injuries and their performance has not suffered that much. And I saw someone tweet out if this is a preview of what Daniel Jones will be in 10 years when he can't run anymore, then no thank you. It's like, okay, that's a bit much. I mean, I see what you're saying. You take away his legs and it's like he's not the same quarterback, but you could say the same thing about Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is in his 9th season. Like, is he now coming to the point where he's not going to be able to scramble and be as mobile and make plays with his legs? I mean, still, I would still prefer 8 good seasons of Daniel Jones. Still think it's still in the cards, but he just wasn't comfortable. And you could tell there were plenty of situations where it's like, why didn't you just take off and run? In the past, you take off, you run, you get the first down, or you get close enough to the first down that we could probably go for it on 4th. Instead, he goes back to his security blanket. His security blanket is Darius Slayton. He gets nervous, he gets anxious, he gets antsy, he doesn't know what to do. He throws it to Darius Slayton. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. So that's all he did for the first half because he was probably rusty or uncomfortable, nerves, felt he probably didn't feel like the hamstring was all there, even though they did all these fucking tests or whatever. And now we're in a hole. Now we're in a bad spot because it's like, I mean, you play him against Cleveland knowing that he's going to give you a similar effort. He's not going to be able to scramble. He's not going to make plays with his legs. And you're going to have to rely on the ground game. Cleveland's going to stack the box. You know, there was a screenshot that I saw on Twitter of like, there were 9 goddamn Cardinals defenders in the box. I mean, do we not see that? Do we not audible and say, hey, let's have our receivers win one-on-one battles? And you look at what Jason Garrett did, and this is what's so funny. It's like Jason Garrett turned an offense that included Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, and all these big playmakers into like a average offense. And that's all you need to know. I think they need to move on from him as soon as possible, please. I think, and that's what's so crazy. Unless Judge has established some kind of relationship with Garrett that is more valuable than what the output is on the field in terms of, how to become a head coach, how to be a head coach. He's losing the ball games. He's taking a dramatic. Daniel Jones is taking a huge step backwards. We constantly talk about these fucking weapons we have, and they don't do shit. What is going on? We're just not gonna win this division, and we're not gonna win a playoff game with this offense the way it currently is with Jason Garrett running the show. Just not. I honestly would just fire Garrett. Just fire Garrett and see what you got in terms of like the other dudes on staff. See what, put out a suggestion box from the players. Be like, what plays do you like? What plays should we run? Submit your comments below.